You know what? It's been a hot minute since the last time I covered an unserious topic, so that means I can finally let my hair down, and this video is nowhere near as serious as my most recent ones. Anyway, hello, if you're new here, hello, and if you're not new here, hello again. That's right, today we're going to do a deep dive into Claire's accessories, because why the fuck not? Claire's Accessories is probably one of the most well-known stores from every little girl's and even some boys' childhoods. Like, I don't really think it matters where you're from. I feel like almost every country has a Claire's Accessories, with its bright purple welcoming Claire's sign and an interior that would make any small girl beg their parents just to take a step inside to buy their overpriced products that you can get anywhere else for just a fraction of the price. But alas, we had no concept of money at that age. We didn't care. We wanted that £20 earring set no matter how many tears it took to get there.
Tripping, bro. You tripping.
Or you could even go in with the promise of getting your ears pierced, which, fun story, when I was 7 years old, I got my ears pierced at a Claire's Accessories, but we'll talk more about that later. Thank you, Claire's! I thought in today's video we could have a look at Claire's and their legacy, as well as its controversy and the many hilarious memes that exist for some reason. So sit back, relax, I'll quit yapping and we'll just get straight into today's video topic. So if you actually live under a rock or perhaps in a country that doesn't have a Claire's Accessories, let me give you, a brief introduction to Claire's. Claire's is an American retailer of accessories, jewellery, and even some toys, with it primarily being aimed at teen girls and young children, mainly girls. The store was actually founded all the way back in 1961 by Roland Schaefer, who also founded another company called Tress Industries. And Tress Industries was a company that actually sold fashion wigs. And this company was actually the biggest retailer for wigs at the time, which is great. Wig,
did you just say wig?
But in 1973, Fashion Tress would then acquire Claire's Accessories, which at the time had 25 stores, and then they began shifting its aim away from wigs and more to accessories and jewellery fashion and all that stuff, what we know and love today. And it originally was given the name Claire's Accessories Incorporated. The full name of it is actually that, but we just call it Claire's. And today, Claire's actually has around 3,469 stores globally, as well as around 20,000 employees working for them. And if you're one of those 20,000, I feel sorry for you. Do you need therapy? But not only that, not only does Claire's provide all of the jewellery that every small child wanted back in the day, no. They provided the ear piercings to go along with it. And not only do they do ear piercings now, boys and girls, they actually also do nose piercings and lobotomies. Their ear piercing services began all the way back in 1978, which is crazy, and they claim to have done more ear piercings than any other retailer, and to be honest, I believe it, totaling at over 100 million in over 25 years. However, despite them being on such a high with everything, in 2018 they actually filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Are you surprised? Because I wasn't. But by 2022, Claire's had actually got themselves out of the bankruptcy, and well done, I guess, gold star for you. And they announced a preliminary sales growth in that year and began to announce plans for, quote, initial public offering, because they were that much in the shit that they had to do anything they can to get customers, other than, maybe not having the sales prices so high. So what Claire's did, what this strategy included for them to, get their bag up, was they closed all the stores in underperforming areas. So, for example, my town used to have a Claire's. That shit is gone. That shit was gone a while ago because it didn't make any money. But they also favoured more prestige mall locations, because when you're in a mall, it's there, you go there. In a shopping centre, not a mall, we're not American. And they also set up like kiosk areas in local grocery store and drugstore chains, which is hilarious because I always wondered why when I went in Asda, all of a sudden there was a Claire's section. And they also have one in New Look as well, so I mean the Claire's shop's shut, but we can't escape it. And these sections are like really shitty as well. Like, it's not all the cool earrings and stuff, no, it's like the hair bows and the hair scrunchies that were like a tenner a piece that you could just buy really cheaper from literally anywhere else. And in regards to that, this is probably why Claire's have had a little bit of a rough patch. So let's have a look at that. So I don't know if it's the same globally, but in the UK, Claire's is notoriously overpriced. And that has been an issue since I can remember. Even when I was small and didn't really understand the concept of money, I knew if I had pocket money, don't spend it at Claire's because you're going to spend it all in one go. But what do they actually sell? Well, they sell things such as earrings, necklaces, hair bows, bracelets, and also, do you remember those little BFF necklaces that you'd give to your bestie when you were like 7 years old? They sold those. I remember it in particular because when I was in primary school, I had like 2 friends, so we'd be like a 3, and one of them was like a burger, one of them was fries, and one of them was pizza, and they were the best things ever. If I can find a photo of them, I'm going to insert it now. Another thing that I used to love when I was a kid, I mean, looking at me now, it makes a lot of sense, but I used to really adore those little chokers. These ones here, you know, the simple, like, lace ones, which, to be honest, bring that shit back. I never see those anymore. Bring them back. They were so cool. And also, Claire's had a load of these, which I'm going to insert a little bit because I did a little bit of investigating myself, boys and girls. I went outside for this video, which proves my dedication. But Claire's used to have loads of these, and still do, in loads of styles, in colours, in charms, like, you know, a small, edgy girl's wet dream. And you can actually find these online for like £2, maybe even 50 cents if you're looking like at Shein and AliExpress. But Claire's literally has them for like £6 to £8 a piece, which is pretty extortionate. And for a young child that got like £10 pocket money to go and spend on a Saturday when they went into town, that was like half of their income gone already on a necklace. Can't even get any lunch with that now. I mean, I know that Shein, Temu and AliExpress aren't the best places to buy from, but cosy living and that, I'm not going to judge anyone for shopping there. I don't have time for that. But now more than ever, it's been more easier to go for the more affordable option, which is what people are going to do. People just want to slay for a cheaper price, and that's okay. They want to slay themselves, not their wallets. But other examples include like earrings that you can find literally anywhere else for £1. I mean, yes, these earrings are probably cheaply made, but we don't know what factory the Claire's ones are made in, you know? We don't know if it's the same factory or not. We don't know. And of course, I'm not making any allegations. Why would I do that? But Claire's is just a little bit more expensive for maybe the same quality. That's the point I'm trying to make. However, I did actually have a bit of a nosy glance at their website while, you know, researching for this video, and they appear to have lots of offers on at the moment. I don't know if that's a seasonal thing or if that's how they're trying to get their bag up, but well done, because the sales are making items look so much more affordable. Well, I mean, duh, that's the whole point of a sale. I mean, like a big sale, like 50% off some items, which takes a hefty chunk. If you're going to buy a hair bow for £8, which, who's going to spend £8 on a hair bow? But if that's got 50% off and it's reduced to £4, okay, that's a little bit more understandable. Because I'm going to be honest, I don't fancy paying £8 for a hair bow that I could buy somewhere else for cheaper. Not even AliExpress or Temu. Anywhere else you can find a cheap bow, or you can just make it yourself. Like, I remember going into Claire's as a child and my mum would have to stress to me, we are just in here to look. You are not buying anything, we are just looking, because she knew. She knew it was so expensive. But anyway, I was on holiday last week. Well, at the time of filming this, it was last week. And I went to Portugal. And in Portugal, I stumbled across a Claire's. So I was like, I'm going to go in and I'm going to do some research myself. So enjoy that. I'm currently in a Claire's shop. This was unplanned, but here we are. And this means it's great because does this mean I am a proper YouTuber that is putting in effort for her videos. Nice little selection of earrings. Let's have a look.
£10 for some earrings. No, thank you. Oh, a classical hair bow. Let's have a look. You can make these with a piece of ribbon.
What the hell?
Oh, £6. And it's tiny. You know, it's not very big. I know it's for a child. I know this is a child shop, okay, I get it, but you'd think it would be more affordable for children that only get like a couple of quid pocket money. £6 for 6 hair clips, that's £1 a clip. Here we have the beloved chokers that I was talking about. Let's have a price reveal. Let's go for a simple one, okay? £6. You can find them online for £1. With a little bit of pizzazz and another little bit, that's £8. However, I will say this is really, really cool. They have alternative things in, which is pretty good. I could see myself wearing that, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, a price reveal. Let's check. That concludes the segment of Claire's shopping with Dollface.
Anyway, my next bone to pick with Claire's is the fact that they do piercings. So, as mentioned, Claire's also provide piercing services for ears and now noses, which is... Now, as I said, when I was 7, I got my ears pierced at Claire's and I never had a problem with it. I actually had it done by a gun. I had 2 ladies either side that did it, which I applaud them for, because if they'd have done one, I would not have let them do my second one. I was like 7. But what's quite controversial about Claire's doing ear piercing is that they use a gun rather than the traditional needle. According to research, needle piercings are so much safer, cleaner and more effective than piercing guns. Needle piercings are much more precise and effective compared to a gun. According to experts, piercing guns come with lots of different problems, such as the risk of tissue damage, scarring, as well as them being almost impossible to clean, which is gross, which then leads to an increased risk in infection when you get a piercing, and trust me, you don't want that. Literally, when I got my lip pierced, obviously not at Claire's, but when I got my lip pierced, I was so paranoid about it getting infected, and not for me. Now, again, I need to stress that my ears were pierced with a gun at Claire's and they were fine. No infection, no nothing. They were fine. And so has, like, many other people's that had their ears pierced at Claire's, so it's not all bad, clearly. They did something right with my ears, because 15 years later, they're still there. Piercing needles come pre-sterilised and are just single-use things. You chuck it out as soon as it's been stabbed in someone. And this means that the risk of complications is significantly lower. Now, I mean, I get it. A child is going to feel a lot more intimidated than a sharp, pointy needle coming at their ears than a blue plastic little thing that just hooks into their ears. Done. Needles also decrease the risk of crooked and uneven placements, because with a gun it's more likely that you're gonna like flinch, because when you use a needle piercing your ear is clamped, so you have a less chance of it going in the wrong place. While piercing guns may be enticing because they are quick and easy, which I guess, you know, for a young child it's done. But professional piercers do typically recommend needles rather than gun piercing. Same for noses. I didn't know this, but people could get their noses pierced by a gun, which is terrifying when you learn the fact that piercing guns cannot properly be cleaned. I don't want someone else's nose juice going inside my nose or my ear. Thank you very much. Needle good, gun bad. Now, also while I was researching, I stumbled down a few Quora Digest threads and Reddit posts of former Claire's employees slagging off the work basically, and some former Claire's employees came forward and said that they were hardly trained for the role of being a piercer. Because I'm not being funny, to be a proper body piercer, you have to do courses and get a certificate. You have to be qualified to get a job in a piercing shop, just like you have to be qualified to do a tattoo on somebody. But Claire's piercers, for some reason, don't get that qualification unless they get it through Claire's. I don't know how it works. I've never worked at Claire's. But one employee actually stated that they practiced on a piece of cardboard before jumping to the real thing, which is crazy. A simple search into Google, however, does come up with contradictory results, with other Claire's staff stating that they are trained extensively, but with former employees also disregarding this. So I'm gonna guess that it depends on your region, what Claire's shop you work in, what the regulations are of piercings in that area, and shit like that. Anyway, I'm gonna go and get my at Claire's. So while doing my research, I didn't know this until I started researching Claire's, I found that Claire's had had some actual controversies, including asbestos recalls, because you know, asbestos, that thing that they used to put in walls back in the day that they don't anymore because of how dangerous and cancerous the material is. You know, the fibrous material that old people have like been breathing in for their like 40 years of working and now suffer from like lung diseases because of it. They put it in kids' makeup. Now, of course, as I've just said, but I'm going to say it more formally, inhalation of asbestos fibres can lead to serious lung conditions, including lung cancer. And as a result of these serious health effects, asbestos is considered a serious safety hazard and health risk. And this shit was found in kids' makeup sold at Claire's. I shit you not. But wait till you find out what products it was found in, because it's so bad, it's hilarious. These traces have been found in products containing talcum powder, and sometimes talcum powder can also include asbestos. Traces of asbestos, because again, I think talcum powder is also a naturally occurring substance. So Claire's actually came out and said, quote, the FDA had mischaracterized fibers in the products as asbestos. So basically Claire's tried to turn around and say, nuh-uh, not asbestos, it's just talcum powder, you're wrong, I'm right. They tried to claim that the asbestos traces that were found in their makeup had come from the talcum powder that can sometimes contain traces of asbestos. Also, using talcum powder in makeup is also kind of gross. Just a misunderstanding, guys. It's not really asbestos. You guys are crazy. What are you talking about? But in March 2019, the FDA tested more Claire's makeup products. And again, they found the possible presence of asbestos. These affected products were sold between October 2016 to March 2019. Despite Claire's stating that they had full confidence in their products, they also issued a recall. One of these products was a JoJo Siwa makeup kit. It was the eyeshadow element of this makeup kit that contained the asbestos. So again, they tried to use the talcum powder argument. Claire's then also stated that, quote, trace amounts were acceptable by European and Canadian cosmetic regulations, but they had ended the use of talcum powder in their products. Well done. But this was so controversial to the point where Miss Siwa had to come out and say, I am so sorry guys for putting my trust into Claire's. I did not want asbestos in my products. I didn't do this. This is not my fault, which it's not her fault. A lot of other things are her fault, but the asbestos in her makeup was not her fault. But in regards to all of this controversy, some pretty hilarious memes came out of it. That I'm going to get my blank pierced at Claire's, or going to Claire's for a lobotomy is still fucking hilarious. I don't care what anyone says. With this meme even making it on this sweater, which will never not be hilarious. Also, this was another gem that I found. Do not get your ears pierced at Claire's, boys and girls. But in conclusion, maybe we are all blinded by a little bit of nostalgia when I say I still miss Claire's. I want it to come back. I want it to come back to my hometown, because it will never not be iconic. And I think the reason that it is so iconic to this day is because of these memes that have kind of given Claire's like a bit of a rebirth. Because if you shopped at Claire's when you were a child, you were the it girl. You probably also peaked in high school, but that's irrelevant. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed me chatting pure nonsense for like however long this video is. Feel free to let me know if you have any video requests in the comments, or if you'd like to follow me on any social medias. They will be linked in the description in my link tree. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!